Da-do-da-do-da-da, da-do-da-do-da-da, we shall rise again one day. Da-do-da-do-da-da, da-do-da-da-day, da-do-da-do-da-da, we shall rise.
There's a song in your heart that you know will survive, even through all the hurt, stress, and sorrows. There are no words to describe all the pain you've endured, and you wish for a brighter tomorrow.
You can make it,
but you gotta believe
we shall rise.
We shall rise.
Lift your voices.
Lift your voices.
We shall rise. Da-do-da-do-da-da, da-do-da-da-day, da-do-da-do-da-da, we shall rise again one day. Da-do-da-do-da-da, da-do-da-da-day, da-do-da-do-da-da, we shall rise.
There is a place in your dreams where you see that you're free and you live life as you were intended. All of the loss in your life and you feel like nothing's right, 'cause the holes in your world can't be mended.
You can make it,
but you gotta believe
we shall rise.
Lift your voices.
We shall rise.
We shall rise. You can make it. Yeah.
Lift your voices.
We were made for greatness.
We shall rise.
We'll survive.
Sing, my sisters, lift your voices.
That's one thing they can't take away.
Pain, it hurts, my brothers, but we know that we shall rise again one day.
This type of living is killing souls, oppression, you're feeling it. Devastating the ignorance you're dealing with. But you can't believe what they tell you. Facts manipulated, the lies they try to sell you. Let's lift our voices and declare we are the change gon' come already here though. The song that's in your heart survives and there's nothing to fear, so rise. Rise again one day, rise again one day. Oh, we shall rise again one day. Rise again one day, rise again one day. Rise, 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 rise. Rise again one day, rise again one day. Rise again one day, rise again one day. we shall rise. We are fighters, we are leaders, we are lovers and believers. We are powerful and we shall rise. If we dream, we can achieve it. We are conquerors, believe it. We are wonderful and we shall rise. When we feel oppressed, we shall rise. When we can't go on, we shall rise. When we want to hate, we shall rise. Believe it and we
shall rise again one day.
African rhythm survived American slave trade, and out of it some new song forms were made, like field hollers and work songs that passed the time. They became the blues and then the rhythm went ragtime. In New Orleans it picked up Creole flavor, sophisticated brass bands for your it's a savor, mixed with the freestyle of freed slaves who by ear from their heads played songs, marched in band for those who passed on. It moved to Chicago where improvisation grew from being used as embellishment into something brand new. Then in New York the rhythm played quite symphonic, opening up the world of jazz harmonics. Through much transformation was born what we know as this cultural marriage called jazz. Swing, bebop, jazz, a wide array. Fusion, neo-classical, they're here to stay. I took some time and wrote a rhyme about jazz history, about what jazz is and what it used to be. I'm educating, elevating every one of you cats. You got to know where jazz came from to know where it's at.
Welcome everyone to Martinis and Masterpieces. We're so excited to have you here with us. I'm Jim Grace, Executive Director of the Arts and Business Council of Greater Boston.
And I'm Luke Blackadar, Deputy Director of the Arts and Business Council of Greater Boston.
Tonight, we'll share with you why we do what we do and introduce you to some of the incredible artists and partners we have the privilege of working with. At the Arts and Business Council, our primary focus is on the people who create, who inspire, who uplift, who advocate, and who dream. These artists and the arts organizations that support them need scaffolding and resources to do what they do. That's where we come in. We're now laser focused on 4 programs that are essential to sustaining the arts. Our Business on Board program helps organizations create a robust, invested network of volunteers and champions. Our Creative Campus program fills the primary need of spaces for artists and their art making at a time when gentrification threatens to effectively eliminate them.
We also provide legal services to individual artists and arts organizations through the Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts, as well as business coaching and community for independent and emerging artists through our Creative Entrepreneur and Walter Feldman Fellowship programs. The arts matter now more than ever. In many regards, the arts helped us through the COVID-19 pandemic, bringing so many of us together when we were still forced to be apart. And later tonight, we'll have an opportunity to introduce you to some of the amazing people and organizations who've done just that.
And tonight, we want to take time to make a special thank you to our sponsors, especially our Maestro sponsors. As we've all seen, the pandemic exposed the resource divide in our communities. These inequities play out in every sector, and the arts sector is no different. Those with resources and support, economic and otherwise, were better able to move forward and withstand the financial hardship brought on by the pandemic. We're conscious of this, and we're doubling our efforts to invest in a more equitable arts. Our fundamental goal is to level the playing field, ensuring that diverse voices lead our creative community forward.
In addition to COVID, in this past year, we've also seen a huge response to the racial reckoning in the arts sector and in our country. And so many of the artists we work with have been leading the charge. We love our jobs and appreciate getting to work with so many talented people. I love helping creators solve problems and generally feel empowered and confident about the decisions they make and the work they do.
The arts sector is incredibly resilient and powerful. I'm also so lucky to get to work with such talented, committed people who challenge us all to create change, to see more, understand more, and do more. Having a front row seat to the beauty and creativity is a true privilege. We hope you enjoy having a front row seat tonight to meet the artists, to hear from our honorees, and to celebrate our collective resilience. Now I'm delighted to introduce you to our first group of 2021 Creative Entrepreneur Fellows, author, actress, and singer, Umaleni Maleva Adebo, recording artist Stephanie McKay, actor, musician, and writer Abria Smith, and violinist and vocalist Jordan Pettis.
Can you tell us how this fellowship experience has been for you so far?
I would say it's been life-changing. I have never had a fellowship before. I've always really, I guess I shied away from something like that. And I've always just been insular in my creative expression, just doing it by myself. And sure, I would collaborate with other people, but I never sort of sought out ways to be in conversation with others on a long, consistent basis. So this was my first foray into that. So I am grateful to have been given an opportunity. I've learned a lot about myself in terms of what my art can do. I've always been somebody who doesn't want to put myself in a box. And so the gift of the fellowship is that I met people with different strengths that I don't have as an artist, and so I'm able to learn from them and expand. I love to sing. I would say I'm sort of self-taught, but I did learn it formally a little bit when I was in high school in South Africa, usually in choir, but not like, and I did a couple of like private lessons and that sort of thing. Then I sang in jazz band. I was a vocalist in the jazz band in college for 3 years at UMass undergrad, and I loved it. I loved singing jazz, Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and would practice at Wally's. I would sit in and watch and listen to, amazing musicians. And I would sit in as a vocalist. And if you know Wally's, they'll tell you to get off if you don't know what you're doing. I think the other thing I learned really was the business aspect, being a creative person and also being sort of business-minded, at least for me, wasn't and isn't sort of natural. And so really learning about, number one, how to protect my work was really key. because I didn't know what I was doing. I would just be like, oh, okay, you can have it. And I didn't think about the worth of it and my time. And so it really gave me pause to think about the value of what I can do and the time it took to do it. And then the other thing I learned was also about, how to formalize sort of my business, myself as a creative entity. That was really important. And then I think more importantly, also thinking outside of the box of where I can perform. I was always kind of going to traditional routes. Well, if you're a singer, you want to make sure that you sing in all the great halls and you want to do the symphony halls and you want to do all these things. But there's so many other things in between those places.
Hi, my name is Stephanie McKay, and I'm a recording artist and an educator. Being in the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship Program of the Arts and Business Council has been an extremely rewarding experience. I've expanded my knowledge in estate planning, trademark, business entities, taxes, crowdfunding, goal setting, home ownership, mental health and wellness, and using social media to promote my work. I would recommend this program to other artists of color at any stage of their career. And that's one of the things I think is unique about this fellowship program is that you don't have to be young, single, and unmarried to apply for it. You can apply for this fellowship at any age. And I think it's important because it's a strong network of business professionals who are veterans in their field, and they specialize in helping artist entrepreneurs. A second benefit is the fellow alumni collective who are thriving in their own careers and exemplify the principles that you're learning in the program out in the real world. So you get to see how other artists are exploiting their work and promoting their work and themselves in different ways so that they can sustain their career with multiple income streams. I want to thank the Arts and Business Council. I want to thank Candelaria, Luke Blackadar, and all my fellow alumni in the program. Let's keep building.
My name is Abria Smith, and I'm an actor, musician, and writer who occasionally dabbles in visual arts. The arts have always played a significant role in my life. They've provided me with a way to express myself freely when I couldn't find my voice. I'm extremely grateful to have participated in the 2021 CEF program. Being accepted into the program really boosted my confidence and made me feel acknowledged and appreciated as an artist. CEF encouraged me to start really seeing myself as an artist and not just someone who sneaks in creativity between work and life. The program gave me access not only to resources and opportunities I might have not otherwise known about, but it also introduced me to a network of talented artists and professionals. The access we had to coaching and all the informative workshops were priceless. I would definitely recommend the CEF program to other artists because it provides us with an opportunity to join a nurturing community that understands our unique needs and a safe space to talk about our successes and failures and give and receive honest and caring feedback. The pandemic changed the ways a lot of artists were able to create and perform. Although I had fewer opportunities for live performances, I definitely grew from the challenge of having to create believable characters on Zoom and convey convincing emotions without experiencing other people's energy in person. With the tools that I gained from CEF, I look forward to focusing more on creating and actually sharing my own work with others. I look forward to a time when I can make a living doing what I love the most.
I joined the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship because during the pandemic, I know many people were forced to kind of take a look at their life and take a look at the choices and that they had made and to look at how they saw themselves. And I wanted to expand my own artistic endeavors, and I wanted to think about how I was charting my own path as an artist. This entrepreneur fellowship, this experience has really taken me to another level. and a level that I wouldn't have been able to get to without the support of the people around me, without the support of this program.
Good evening, everyone. This is Panos Panay. I am the co-president of the Recording Academy, or the organization that probably most of you know as the presenter of the annual Grammy Awards. I'm also a past Arts and Business Council board member, a past Martinis and Masterpieces in-person attendee, as well as an honoree at the event. I want to start by thanking every one of you for the amazing contributions and work that you have done to support the arts community during this very difficult time. I know that the arts community has in fact been there for us, whether it's a painting that provided inspiration for us, a song that we heard that just kept us sane, an album that we couldn't live without, or that amazing piece of literature that we engrossed ourselves in during this extremely difficult time. It's also a community that's been dramatically upended and who's had its incomes seriously diminished during this very challenging time around the world. Venues have closed, arts galleries have shattered, festivals have been postponed, and this is also a community that has undergone tremendous changes and transformation due to all the technological shifts that have been taking place. So in many ways, it's a community that has required the Arts and Business Council and what it does more than ever before. It is my hope that you will continue all the hard work that this organization has been doing for decades now. This is a community that requires our continuous support and guidance, as well as the platforms that the Arts and Business Council provides for that inspiration and that imagination that gives our artists the ability to continue to provide the amazing inspiration that they give to all of us around this community and around the world. I also just want to send my deep gratitude and thanks to Jim and his amazing staff for all the work that I've been doing, which I have experienced firsthand as an active member of the community in Boston for so many years. Please continue to be the amazing tight-knit community that you have been, because that is an amazing town. And now living in Los Angeles, I've come to also appreciate and respect what Boston has to offer. But also don't forget to have fun, because that's important, and that's how we just keep doing what we're doing. So enjoy the evening, enjoy each other, and say hello to everyone from me. Thank you.
Every year I fall in love with a new group of creatives in my work as program coordinator for the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship, and I've just completed my 7th year with the program. The 9-month Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship is designed to accelerate the artistic practices of creative through monthly workshops, individual coaching, peer interaction, and a stipend. Many of the artists live and work in Greater Roxbury, and the majority are BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Creatives often work in isolation but show in public. The COVID-19 pandemic increased this isolation, especially as opportunities to show, perform, and earn disappeared as scheduled events were canceled. Participating in the fellowship program created an instant community where discussions about challenges and triumphs, advice, encouragement, resources, and constructive feedback flowed freely. This year's cohort bonded despite the fact that we didn't have an in-person meeting until the end of the program. As creatives do, the fellows were innovative. They relied on one another and the Arts and Business Council staff for guidance on applying for grants and other assistance, and with housing and legal concerns. The fellows collaborated and continually encouraged each other to keep creating even when programs halted. Now it is my distinct honor to introduce you to multimedia artist, filmmaker, and designer Daniel Callahan, visual artist Merlot Philossaint, jewelry designer KZ Angelo.
My name is Daniel Callahan. I am a multimedia and interdisciplinary artist, and my work is very much about exploring human resilience, ritual, and creating experiences that blur the lines between artist, viewer, and subject. My work is usually participatory in some way, very reflective around the issues and concerns that I've been going through. It's very much been a tool for me to explore not only myself, but my world and all my problems, but in a way that is generative, in a way that hopefully connects with others who are dealing with the same thing, and hopefully to find innovative solutions through expression. I'm very much about creating experiences, and I was just really blown away by the experience that I had being in the CEF program. What I really like about the program is it's while it focuses on business, it really talks about integrating your art form into the business and really understanding your art form as a business and understanding your business as an art form. And so really digging down to how we can be better entrepreneurs, how we can better represent ourselves and live from the work that we do. So much about art making can be very isolating, can be very insular. And I think anytime that you can give artists a chance to better ourselves in community, through community, and to bring skills to the table that we may not inherently have, and to share that with us, all those things are really important and they go a long way. I would definitely recommend the CEF program to anyone who is an artist who is looking to take their practice to the next level, because that's really what this is about.
As a 2021 fellow, it helped me build my confidence as an artist. I received so many great resources and knowledge. One such resource was a volunteer lawyers. Another was a book I received called Arts and Numbers. It is a finance book. It helped me grow as a person, as an artist. I built so many connections with people that I may not have met if I hadn't done this program. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for listening. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi, my name is Casey Angelo, and I make Floxy jewelry. Floxy's a name that I came up with as a kid, and I still really enjoy it, so I use it for my jewelry. And the materials that I mostly work with are beads. Some are vintage, modern, things that I will get at estate sales, secondhand shops, online. And I've been collecting beads probably since I was 6 years old when I came to the US from Brazil. My dad was a maintenance man, and I remember one day he came home and he was like, "Here you go." And he gave me a ton of beautiful beads. And I was a 6-year-old lonely kid who was dropped off. I felt like I was just dropped off in this cold country. I didn't know the language at all, but I knew that I come from a family of creators, of very crafty people. So that's really when I started working with beads and having a great appreciation for them. When I was a kid, it was the best thing that I could have done during the pandemic, besides going to therapy and trying to drink water and be healthy. It really helped me stay mentally sane, knowing that every month I was going to check in with an amazing group of artists. Not just any amazing group of artists, but some people that I knew from the community and greatly admire, and people of color. I would join this Zoom once a month, and all of these beautiful faces. It was really a great experience. And because I had this on my calendar and on my mind, I just made more space to focus on being creative. And I also thought more about how I wanted to market myself, my price points, which is something that I really struggled with. And I was able to have conversations with people who understood some of my challenges because they had faced it too. So it really gave me community. It validated a lot of my feelings and experiences. And it was really, really the best thing that I did for myself. One of the biggest challenge as a creative person in the city is, connection to resources and certain spaces that don't feel very comfortable. And the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship, it gave us the time to talk about that and to face some of those worries and fears that I had about where to go with my art and what would be safe for me. And I got to work with Candelaria, who is so knowledgeable, like so wonderful, and have these conversations that I've wondered, is it appropriate for me to say these things? Is it okay to bring these things up? And month after month, I was in a room with people that were like bringing up a lot of things that was really helpful to me in my growth. I have grown my business so much in the last year. I have gotten so much more done than, I don't know, I think that because of the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship, my business, especially, busy season coming up, it's really going to do so much better. I'm so much more organized and confident in my abilities. Thank you very much.
Have you ever died while breathing, while standing vacant, a tsunami of tears flood in your brain? Have you ever lost your voice from screaming between borders of reason and reality? Have you ever heard shallow breaths like earthquakes shaking the foundation that are your feet? Have you ever watched your foundation break in two continents, unable to split yourself in two? Have you ever cried? Have you ever cried in the arms of your shadow? I'm tired of regurgitating names. I'm tired of flowers, altars to the dead. I can't breathe. These streets, this land, this country, this world, cemetery of black and brown bodies, mine, always mine, always mine, ours, ours, ours. If she could have heard me, if she could have heard me through the coma that held her prisoner, I would tell her that I'm sorry. I would have reminded her that there are still many seeds to sow, that I would never forget that she was my first soil, the root of my tree. But if a root dies, am I still a tree? If a root dies, am I still a tree? Though I've bloomed in other fields, is this flower still her glory? In the darkness, remembering offerings by candlelight, Pamani, we would huddle like Nyenyedzi, read Bible verses, and Sekuru learned enough to buy 12 acres to be free, but Wazukuru Itnini still grew up called Kafa, the N-word. But still I rose, my image splashed across buildings, and they chanted my name with all its ancestral power. The lines on my face, maps of a nation, locks like ropes pulling me to my salvation, and every syllable an homage to my people. Have you ever died while breathing, while standing vacant? A tsunami of tears flood in your brain. Have you ever lost your voice from screaming between borders of reason and reality? Have you ever heard shallow breaths like earthquakes shaking the foundation that are your feet? Have you ever watched your beginning break in two continents, unable to split yourself in two? Have you ever? Have you ever? Have you ever cried in the arms of your shadow?
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying Martinis and Masterpieces. My name is Cara Elliott Ortega, and I'm the Chief of Arts and Culture for the City of Boston. I know I don't need to remind everyone here about how difficult this time has been to the creative sector, to artists, and to cultural organizations around Boston and beyond. What's sinking in for me, for our team at the city, and for those in the arts and culture industry who I talk to every day is that uncertainty is turning into a bit of a way of life. The business models, the markets, our ways of thinking about art consumption and content are all shifting. And I know that we all appreciate that in the middle of this, it's the makers, the musicians, the artists who really keep going and keep creating, offering up some moments of connection, relief, and just humanness in the middle of a whole lot of precarity. When we surveyed creative workers about their biggest concerns this past year, overwhelmingly we heard about that feeling of having the rug pulled out from under you and the uncertainty in navigating their professions and livelihoods, and how the changing nature of work was impacting their relationship to audiences, to the public, and the resulting loss of community. So every opportunity to provide resources and support is critical, not only to keep the lights on in our venues or because arts and culture is a critical part of our economy in Boston, which it is, but because behind all of that work are people and communities who create the rhythm and vibrancy of our city. To those who have volunteered their services, please know how much we appreciate your time and care for this work. Every minute that you're able to share is so valuable. And a huge thank you to the Arts and Business Council for doing the necessary for the arts in a time of crisis. From navigating complicated relief funds to helping people navigate unemployment benefits, which have been so difficult for gig workers in particular, and giving organizations the space and support to really think about what this next phase means for them and their futures. The Arts and Business Council has really been relied on and will continue to be relied on as a guide through these times, and we couldn't be more thankful for your services and partnership. So on behalf of the City of Boston, I want to thank everyone here for their support. Let's stay vigilant and keep raising our voices about the importance of arts and culture, especially in this moment of social reimagining. Now is the time to get really creative about what comes next, what should be, and how we might get there together. Thanks so much and have a great night.
I'm Cheryl Tagayas, the board chair for the Arts and Business Council. Thank you for joining us tonight. In my 7 years on the board of directors, I have seen this organization rise to meet the needs of the arts community as it has faced many challenges. None of these challenges has been as daunting as those we have experienced in the past 18 months. Our response to these challenges has included one-on-one counseling, written materials, workshops, and collaborations with law firms and art service partners from around the country. I am so proud to be part of an organization that puts the artists at the center of their work. Our Creative Campus initiative is addressing one of the creative community's greatest needs: equitable access to safe, affordable, appropriate space. I have been an architect for over 30 years and have seen firsthand the gentrification that results from rising real estate costs. Unfortunately, artists and small cultural organizations lose their space. To preserve these spaces, resources and capital are needed. The Creative Campus is an initiative of a cultural CDC that can help address this critical need. For example, we have been partnering with Creative Hub Worcester in the acquisition, financing, and rehab of an historic building in downtown Worcester to create a community center focused on creative and cultural expression. And we are working to preserve the second largest artist community in the country, located in Lowell, through acquisition. Please join us in this mission, whether through offering your expertise and services or through financial contribution. Both are critical to our success. And to our sponsors, partners, and champions, many of whom are watching this event tonight, we can't thank you enough for your support over the years. And to all of you, let us work together to ensure the health and vitality of our arts community. Thank you.
Now, in its 7th year, the Walter Feldman Fellowship for Emerging Artists supports the professional careers of visual artists with the opportunity for their first solo exhibition. They also receive curatorial and professional development support to improve the business side of their artistic practice. Our juror for this year's fellowship, celebrated Boston and now New York-based artist Steve Locke, called the work of our 2021 Feldman Fellows, Marla McLeod and Brooke Stewart, visually challenging and technically strong work that made me think about power, agency, and humanity. And Steve went on to say, their work made me remember how powerful figuration can be in capable and empathetic hands. At the Arts and Business Council, we know how powerful and how impactful these programs can be, not only for the artists who directly benefit, but for the artistic community at large. That's why we do what we do. For every donation we receive, we give back tenfold to our creative communities. I hope before this night is over, you'll take a moment to text your support. From all of us at the Arts and Business Council, our partners and those we serve, thank you very much.
As part of my role as Deputy Director, I manage our legal services program, the Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts of Massachusetts. The VLA, our longest-standing program, provides artists and arts and cultural organizations with affordable legal services. In spite of the threat the pandemic has presented to our community, we're encouraged by the progress that was made this past year. Not only have many artists been stabilizing their own businesses, but I've also seen many artists and arts leaders reaching out and creating new programs and collaborations that strengthen our community. That said, challenges lie ahead of us, and as many have relied on us, we too rely on others to help us move forward. Which is why I want to take a moment to recognize some of our volunteers and constituents who have already demonstrated leadership in helping our sector navigate the pandemic. Jill Havens at the Law Office of Jill Havens for patiently sharing with us her immense wisdom on employees' rights and navigating the unemployment system. Danielle Jerima Letterman at Morgan Brown & Joy for walking us through how nonprofits should think about their hiring and workplace policies during the pandemic. Elizabeth Mason of Mason Law for sharing her knowledge and expertise on pandemic-based changes to the unemployment process. Lily Palacios Baldwin of Tufts University for guiding both individuals and nonprofits on a variety of pandemic-related employment matters. Adamantia Giannakis and the pro bono team at Brown Rudnick for all of their assistance helping artists maintain their studio and living spaces. David Miller and the pro bono team at Proskauer for their counsel to dozens of arts and cultural organizations, as well as their outstanding work with the New England Musicians Relief Fund. And finally, the New England Musicians Relief Fund for quickly creating such a robust safety net for musicians in need. Thank you for your leadership, wisdom, and support. Finally, I'd like to introduce our recipient of the 2021 Robert B. Frazier Award for Excellence in Pro Bono. Every year, we present the Frazier Award to an attorney or law firm who exemplifies the VLA's mission and commitment to the arts. This year, we present the award to Michelle Brownlee, trademark counsel at the Bose Corporation. A veteran of the VLA, Michelle always amazes me with her enthusiasm to take on new challenges and her readiness to provide mentorship to her fellow volunteer attorneys. Michelle, thank you so much for all that you do.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Brownlee, trademark counsel at Bose Corporation. I am humbled to accept the nomination for this year's Robert Frazier Pro Bono Award. When Luke first suggested that I should be this year's recipient, I felt like I was unworthy, as it seemed that my contributions were small. But when I stopped to think about it, I realized that over the years I've helped many clients, and in the aggregate have impacted the lives of many. I was first introduced to Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts when I participated in a clinic at Columbia Law School where I did client intake. I got involved with VLA's Boston chapter shortly after I moved here in 1999. In my early volunteer days at the Gillette Company, I helped the baker of Boston Red Chips cookies resolve a dispute with Major League Baseball over her cookie's name. I also helped an entrepreneur register the MemoBot trademark for uniquely shaped USB memory sticks that had anime videos and other content loaded on them. In 2006, I worked with my favorite client, a nonprofit organization called Rockstars that provides instruments and music lessons to kids who can't afford them. I helped the founder file trademark applications for the Rockstar's name, which is spelled R-A-W-K in a tribute to the Boston accent, and for their star logo, which bore some resemblance to the Houston Astros logo, and again resolved a dispute with Major League Baseball. In more recent cases, I helped a comedian resolve a trademark dispute involving the name of a comedy festival, and even stepped outside the world of trademarks to help a ballet teacher resolve a dispute with her ex-husband regarding the terms of their divorce agreement. The work I've done as a volunteer attorney through VLA has been incredibly satisfying. While the cases may seem small in scale and scope compared to the ones I handle in my day-to-day work for a large company, they have tremendous importance for the creative people who have poured their hearts and souls into their work. The point is, for a relatively small investment of time, you can make a huge impact. Every time I think of Rockstars and of all the kids' lives it has touched, it makes me so happy to know I played a part in the organization's mission through my volunteer legal work. I hope that I will continue to serve VLA clients for many years to come. I thank the Arts and Business Council for recognizing the importance of pro bono legal services in furtherance of the arts. Thank you.
Now let's hear from our final group of fellows: playwright Alexis K. Morgan, puppeteer Tanya Nixon Silberg, and painter Robin Thompson Duong.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alexis Kristen Morgan, and I am an educator and a playwright. I find myself between two worlds, the greater Boston area and the greater Philadelphia area. I am so thankful to be able to spend this time with you today to share about my experience with CEF. Before CEF, I had little knowledge of how to take my art from being part-time to being full-time. I knew very little about how to protect my art, how to fund it, or how to market it. Even though I consider myself a millennial, I really do very little on social media, and I didn't necessarily know how to use these different platforms to advertise, to connect with others, and also how to capture some of the work that I was doing in order to get funders to support my efforts. And so I'm so thankful for CEF for giving me the tools that I need in order to accomplish that work. I'm also really thankful for CEF for the number of people I got to meet during the 6-7 month experience. Even though because of COVID, we didn't have opportunities to meet in person, we did have opportunity to connect over Zoom. And Zoom provided a space, a platform for us to build trust, for us to build relationships and partnerships. I got to meet with other alumni from CEF. I got to hear about the struggles and the way that we were able to thrive as artists. It was amazing that even though there was a pandemic, there were so many opportunities for us as artists to continue to showcase our work, and even more opportunities for us to connect with one another, partner with one another, and really work on different projects that we didn't have an opportunity before then. I just want to give a huge shout out to Luke, to Alexis, to Joan, and especially to Candelaria for all of the time that they invested in each one of us and invested in us collectively as a group, as a cohort. The pandemic was hard on all of us, and I can't imagine it wasn't difficult for them as well, but they showed up consistently, showed up in between, and gave their time to us in a way that I didn't even expect. And I'm so thankful for that. Through CEF, I really hope, and I know I'm going to take these tools and knowledge, and especially the friendships, and apply it. One thing I'm learning to do is to seek out opportunities and not just wait for them to find me. There are so many ways as a writer that I can get my work out on stage. And I've been taught not to be afraid to even, do what it needs to take to get a couple of friends, open up a Zoom room and showcase my own work, and not wait for a company to award me that. I can do that myself. I can really take ownership of that. I thank you all. I thank you for this experience, and for giving me opportunity.
Hello, my name is Tanya Nixon Silberg. I am the founder of Little Uprisings. I am a puppeteer, I'm a Black mama, I do all the things. So the pandemic had thrown a wrench in a lot of my plans. I just started My Night in the Planetarium. We just debuted it in February of 2020. My Night in the Planetarium is a puppet show based on a book by Inosanto Nagara. And a lot of those gigs got canceled. And so that was a challenge. But what I also noticed about the pandemic is that it actually allowed for me to stop, reevaluate what was going on in my life, what was going on in my artistry, and move in a different way. I was able to let things go that weren't serving me and actually apply for the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship. And being a part of that fellowship also helped me to hone the business. And that's what was really important, right? Like, we're all trying to do things differently, and to be able to get more information from the cohort and from the leaders was very, very, very helpful. The CEF program has helped me tremendously. Not only did it help with having camaraderie with all of the people, but also just kind of seeing what's going on in Boston. Boston is small, but it's also really huge when we think about Black and brown artists. Like, what are people doing? People do things in silos, right? So you don't know what's going on. The CEF actually really just helped broaden my idea of what artistry is in Boston, make really great connections with folks, and also give me some really good tools about business and how to make my business flourish in Boston. I would absolutely recommend the CEF to other artists, and I have. So I hope the people that I had recommended to apply. I would recommend the CEF program to other artists. For the same reasons in which I was a part of it. I was able to really be a part of a cohort. I've been in cohorts before, and I've noticed that when we're in cohorts, it's usually we just get together, we do whatever our things are, and then we separate. I feel like this is very much a family. And so I would recommend that for any artist coming up, already established, to be a part of something where it's not just our artistry, but our business, and we get the tools to do both of them.
Hi, my name is Robin Thompson Duong. I am an artist, a painter. I paint primarily portraits of women of color, and I'm really interested in experimenting with my medium, which happens to be acrylic, and layering. I love color and just playing around with color and different themes about femininity and Black experience. I have been a teacher for over 12 years, teaching art in private and public institutions. And I just really felt that I needed to take a break from that to kind of recharge and work on my own practice, my own art. So I decided to do that, and I've been teaching part-time at my own studio, which I'm in right now, and doing some online teaching thanks to COVID. I have found that the Creative Entrepreneur Fellowship has really helped me think about different ways of sustaining my practice and my business, whether it be through financial advice or just talking to other like-minded people. It's really important, I think, to have people around you who can understand kind of your struggles and celebrate your joys and your victories with you.
We want to give our sincerest thanks to our donors, our honorees, and our volunteer lawyers who've contributed over $25 million in free legal services since the VLA's inception. Thank you for standing by us and the creative community for all of these years. And a special thank you to the Boston Foundation, without whom our COVID response programming would have been only a fraction of what we were able to provide.
And to the many business professionals who have invested in arts and culture boards after attending our Business on Board program, thank you for bringing your passion and your compassion. And to our board, we are so grateful to your dedication to our mission and unwavering support of our staff and our work. To the artists and arts organizations of Massachusetts, we applaud your resiliency, your tenacity, and your vision. We are honored to stand with you. Lastly, to those of you who are new to us, there is a place here for you. We need you. Welcome to the Arts and Business Council family. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a good night.
Down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster. Sweet, sweet baby, I don't wanna let you go. Today I will write a poem about a little girl jumping rope. It will not be a metaphor for dodging bullets. It will not be an allegory for skipping past despair, but rather about the back and forth bob of her head as she waits for the right moment to insert herself into the blinking flashes of bound hemp, but rather about her friends on either end of the rope who turn their wrists into small flashing windmills, cultivating an energy of their own, but rather about the way the beads in her hair bounce against the back of her neck, but rather the way her feet barely touch the ground. How the rope skipping across the concrete sounds like the entire world is giving her a round of applause.
Great.